Here in the Midwest, we are no strangers to severe weather. We've seen firsthand how tornadoes can rip apart homes and the destruction floodwaters can cause. These disasters can strike with little warning. It's Severe Weather Awareness Week, as Kai mentioned, here in Iowa, and today is Family Preparedness Day. It's a time for all of us to evaluate how prepared we really are for severe weather. TV9's Heather Hubbs joined us live in the studio, and I thought this was a fun test. You put a family to the test to see how prepared they would be in case of severe weather.
Yeah, they did their own little drill. We partnered with the Red Cross and went to the Kiesling's family home. The Red Cross gave Ann, the mom, 8 minutes to gather everything she thought her family would need if they had to evacuate for, say, a flood. And that includes essentials for her 2 kids and the 2 family dogs. Then the Red Cross evaluated her plan and found some things that most of us forget.
Gather any items that you think you may need in an emergency situation if you had to evacuate.
Okay.
Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, the clock starts now.
Okay.
Imagine having to pack your whole life in less than 8 minutes.
Here's my first aid kit.
Not knowing if you'll have a home to come back to. What would you take?
Like, am I going to some place that's going to have food? You know, I mean, do I grab a bunch of food?
Planning for a disaster means planning for the unknown. There may not be water, food, or power for days.
A minute and a half left.
Okay.
Is there anything else you can think of?
Dog food.
When time was up, Nick Jost, the disaster program manager for the Red Cross, looked over what Ann had grabbed.
You did a great job. You know, you covered all the basics.
Ann had her safe with important documents, medications, clothes, water, and food for her family and the dogs. But there were a few things she didn't think of.
You need to further gather information. So having a radio, battery powered.
I'm assuming that we would have power, and that's not necessarily the case. So extra batteries for things like flashlights.
For Ann, who admits she never put much thought into disaster planning, the drill was a learning experience.
It was a struggle. I mean, I was going back from room, back in here and there. I was hitting that room 3 or 4 times.
What would you do differently?
I would have it in one spot, for sure.
Having a bag pre-packed with essentials is something the Red Cross recommends. Then you can just grab it and go. Nicole, if you have that disaster kit, that's great. Not just if you have to evacuate, but say you're trapped in the basement for several hours because of a tornado. You have your flashlight, food, water, everything you need.
She thought of things that I don't think I would think of.
She did a really great job, I have to say. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, dog food. I would hope I would remember that for my dog. But
Lola would hope you would remember that too.
I know. It's good to have that kit ready, though, because you never know when you'll need it.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Heather.